And here we are yet again for another episode of the Sloth Doctors. I am Dr. Chip.
I'm Dr. Bob.
And no guest for this episode, but we do have some interesting topics. But one of the first things I wanted to say is I get kind of anxious when we're doing this sometimes if there seems to be dead air, like we seem to run out of things to talk about. So just as an exercise of Zen, I think we should take like 5 seconds of just silence. They do that shit on Joe Rogan all the time, don't they?
Just breathe it in.
Yeah, it's kind of like, all right, everything's cool.
Yeah.
We don't have to be.
Yeah, I think.
By the way, big shout out for young Ethan on the sound effects for the last couple episodes. I got to say,
called a caesura. That's a literary term or
What's
a literary technique. A caesura. It's a pause.
Really?
I believe that's what it's called. Yeah.
Yes, because I've noticed they do that in a couple of podcasts, and I'm like, we never do that. I always seem to freak out if we start running out of things to talk about. So. Maybe just learn to live with just a little pause in the show, just for a little
slowing things down.
Yeah, just a little.
We're going to turn this into an ASMR channel where we clicking our nails on things and whispering to the audience.
Well, I don't know about that because the next thing I was going to talk about is the fact that we need to find people to debate us.
Yeah, I would say that the only problem with all of the guests we've had so far is that they've all been very friendly.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just a big echo chamber in here. Everybody going,
and we like them too.
Yeah,
so
and everybody just going, everybody love and share. So we need to find somebody to come in and debate us on and my obvious issue would be the legalization of drugs. That's obviously something I will debate anybody at any time about. And I think I know what issue you would. But I'll let you pick it.
I want to hear what you think.
Well, I would say yours would be the presence of a higher power in an afterlife.
Yeah, that would probably be it, the afterlife thing. And that could come in any shape or form, regardless of what belief system you want to throw in.
And we've had our friendly debates about that, but I'd like to hear somebody that's really adamant about like, oh, no, for sure, maybe a hardcore Christian or
I was
whatever.
thinking about that on my drive down, about the, my whole, atheism, my lack of belief and whatnot. And it really is. I was such a gothic romantic in my youth. I really did want to believe in a great many of esoteric knowledge and, Rosicrucians and secret knowledges and Illuminati and as many things as I could, try to learn to astral project, try to learn to actually cast spells, read up from Aleister Crowley and things like it. And
you read Aleister Crowley?
Yeah, and just nothing. I never achieved any success with anything that. And I do miss that feeling of mystery, of having that sense of mystery in my life. And so I want to embrace something. And so I think I'm going to start either not just, necessarily being so open-minded that my brain falls out, but, a little more open-minded. I've always been open-minded when it comes to alien stuff. Like I do find the thought that we would be the only intelligent thing in the universe, even if it is whatever, that seems a bit arrogant and it seems likely that there'd be something out there. But I really am getting behind the this is a simulation theory. I really like that one.
Well, it's the same thing as religion, though, basically. It's basically the same thing, that there's some almighty creator that made the simulation, and that you go through the simulation, you get popped out, but you get recycled back in.
But it's not the same thing because it's not supernatural. If we're part of a simulation, then we're part of a code. We're part of something written by another sentient.
It is rather supernatural in that we don't understand how they're doing it. Well, whoever it or they is.
That doesn't make something supernatural. There's a great many things that
I was going to say. Well, then what does supernatural mean exactly?
Supernatural means something that's impossible within the laws of physics.
Yeah.
And there's nothing about living in a simulation that makes that impossible. If you're in it, in the simulation, then that
okay, I see what you're saying. If we acknowledge that we are actually just a simulation and not actually real,
then wherever the simulation is coming from is the actual.
It seems
true
a lot like religion's still the same.
It's very adjacent to religion. That's what I'm saying. It at least allows one to add the sense of mystery back into your life and magic.
And it to a certain extent explains what happens before and after you die.
Yeah. File is created. And because I do miss that.
All right, well, listen, we got to wait for somebody that wants to debate you about this shit.
Yeah, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there on air,
Yeah. And I just got to give a shout out to Charlemagne the God for the funniest shit I've heard anybody say in so long in referring to Hakeem Jeffries as APAC Shakur. That's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
I normally don't like that guy, but that
I
was
forgot
good.
to start it.
Oh yeah, whatever. That's we're a few minutes behind, but yeah, I was like, I gotta repeat that one. That's brilliant. Apak Shakur.
Yeah, thanks for hiding that from me and saving it.
Oh yeah.
You got my genuine first reaction on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know, for whatever reason I was thinking about this. I wanted to tell my paintball story. Have you ever played paintball?
No.
All right. Were you at the gathering when we went and played paintball?
I don't think so.
I don't think you were either. I think it was before you. But anyway,
I don't even know if I would have. I mean, was this like at a sanctioned place where you had to show ID and all that kind of stuff, or did you just guys go out in the woods?
This is back. Yeah, no, this is back before there was any of that stuff. It was just out in the woods.
When I worked there, I was like 14, so I
no.
In that case, I wouldn't have been able.
Well, it was a bunch of us from the gathering, and I don't know who got the idea. It was probably Opie. I think it was Opie, as a matter of fact. The guy, yeah, let's all go do this. So it was me, Opie, Jimmer. I know this guy Glenn. I want to say maybe Jim B, but you didn't even know Glenn, did you? That little blonde guy. Maybe Jim B, and maybe, I don't know, maybe one other guy. But anyway,
did Jim B have both eyes at that time? Or?
Yes, okay, that's when he still had a good eye. Yeah. So everybody put on whatever kind of camo they had, which is the 80s. So everybody had some kind of camo, you know. So we all put on our camo. We all drive down to do this thing. And it, like I say, it was the very infancy of paintball. Literally, the guns they gave us were bolt action guns. You had to you shot a paintball. You had to put another one in the chamber, shoot it. You know, it's not like they are damn
near muskets.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost bolt action. Yeah. Literally bolt action. And so we didn't really know where. And so we drove way down to Miami and it was out in the middle of nowhere. And it's not like nowadays in those little things they do them in now, you can see the other side of the playing field or whatever. Where we were, it was like a tract of land, like, okay, the other flag is somewhere over there. Like, and I would say this tract of land was probably good 3 or 4 acres.
You've said it twice. Huge tracts of land. After hearing it twice, I got to get it out of my brain.
But have you ever been to the, no. So it was about a 3-4 acre, and it was kind of like they'd cordon it off into this like U shape where you were supposed to play, and one flag was there and one flag was there. So the first we were going to do two games. So the first game, we set out, and a couple of us put up like a little perimeter to try and catch them trying to get our flag. And sure enough, some guy comes, sneaking out of the woods, and me and the guy Glenn that you didn't know were kind of together, and both of us took a shot at the guy. And having never played before, we didn't really know how it worked. So this guy was experienced. He easily dodged both our shots and just ran up and shot me and then ran off. So I was out the first time, and dude, it hurts. That shit hurts. He shot me like right here. It all got in my hair. And we lost horribly on the first game. So a bunch of us are walking back, and Opie just shoots me in the back. Just like, I just wanted to try it. I'm like, damn. Anyway. All right. So we horribly lose game 1 because nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Oh, and I should describe out in the woods down in Miami. It's not like here. It's not like dirt on the ground. It's coral. It's like rocks. It's with like some dirt in between or whatever. So it's not like the footing you're used to and regular. It's just very hard to get around on, Anyway, so game 2 starts, and I'm like, all right, I'm not hanging out with these guys. I flank way out to the right, way out. I don't see anybody for literally the whole time. I'm like just kind of sneaking through the woods. Finally, I get around to where their flag is. I see it. It's hanging there. They're like hanging on a rope. I'm like, okay, there's the flag. And I know they're not going to just let it sit there without somebody guarding it somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like looking around. I'm like, you don't see anybody. I can't find anybody hiding. And I'm like, well, it's either now or never. So I sprint out, grab the flag on a sprint. As I grab it, I hear like one of the paintballs whiz by my ear. So I'm like hauling ass with this thing. And I guess the guy reloaded and was chasing me. And at one point I stopped, and I was going to, basically Western style, both of us pointing at each other. And I took a shot, and I literally saw his paintball go right past my face because, it's like, they're not very accurate. It's like, it is that in that instant, shooting a musket. They just,
it's a ball. There's no rifling.
Exactly. They just go all over the place. So it's hard to tell. So anyway, so we took our shots at each other. I turned around to run, tripped on one of the rocks, and went down. And I had the gun in my hand that I went down on. And as I hit the ground, I heard it go. I'm out. So that's it. I can't shoot anymore. But this guy doesn't know that. So I start hauling ass, and I don't know if he went the other way or just stood and reloaded and then came after me, but I just hauled ass for so long and so fast, and I just lost him. So finally, I'm getting back towards where, you got to take their flag and pin it up where your flag is, right? So I get back to where we're supposed to pin our flag at. Our flag's gone, and everybody's standing around like nothing's going on. And like, oh yeah, it's all like it's over. And I come walking up, and it's like it's our guys and the other team guys just all standing around. I come walking up, and I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? They're on the way, with our flag to the other thing. And I'm like, well, guess what? We just won. And I won the second game single-handedly.
Nice.
Without anybody even, it was pretty wild. But yeah, man, that was the infancy. It was a lot of fun, dude. And the other thing about that is running through the woods at a great, that's a good workout, dude. We got a lot of exercise that day.
And you're having, you're having fun, so you don't realize you're exercising.
Right.
There's nothing monotonous about it.
Right. Yeah, but afterwards, but I mean, even when you're doing it, I mean, sometimes you're running through the woods and you're just like, shit, I got to stop and breathe for a while, Like after I, lost the guy, kind of fast walked for a little while to, catch my breath, obviously. But yeah,
they've definitely come a long way with the paintball guns themselves. Those things are
but they've ruined it with those little stupid arenas where have you seen what they do now? You're in
but I'm sure there's still people that do it on their own out in the woods.
That would probably still be fun. Well, the only problem with that is that eventually you get a tract of land with a bunch of trees that got all these paint markings all over. I don't know if it's bad for the trees or not.
Airsoft.
Oh yeah. I've seen. Yes, that's very similar.
But then you have to rely on people's honesty and
well, that's not. I've seen
being hit.
Well, you've seen the footage. You don't need to.
Well,
if you got the camera, you can. Hey, I prove I shot that.
It's a lot different. You get hit with a paintball. Yeah, there's visual evidence that you have been hit.
True.
That would be fun to do. I've done laser tag. That's a far less.
I've never done that. Yeah. I've never done laser tag.
That's fun, but because you're sneaking around corners in a building and stuff. It's not, you're not running through the woods. It's a small area. It's almost always inside. I've never seen one outside actually. That's a cool dog. You just missed it,
brother. All right, so you were talking about the fact that we can say retarded now.
I believe that word is coming back. Yeah. yes. Thank you. Well, if nothing else, why did it ever get banned? Because it's still, you can be used as a verb, like to retard the progress of something. I mean,
that's true.
You retard the spark on an engine.
But that brings up another point that I was thinking about first, but somebody else brought it up too, just like yesterday or the day before, like some comedian was talking about it. But at one point, is saying the N-word, not the N-word, just the phrase, the N-word, going to be just like saying the N-word?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of almost there. There, pretty soon everybody knows what it means, what it stands for, what it's,
Right.
So at what point do we just go, okay, that just basically means the word you're not saying?
Well, yeah, then they have to ban that and come up with a new version. And it goes, and it's funny too, that it usually starts off most of these terms. Now, the N-word was always a negative pejorative. It was always a negative term. It never had a place in scientific nomenclature.
Till lately in the rap.
Well, yes, but one could also argue though that that's a different spelling and therefore,
that's true.
That's a different word altogether, because you only have to change one letter of a word to change the meaning. But as far as like the word retard, these are words that were medical conditions. Calling somebody a dwarf or dwarfism, although that's still, I think, socially acceptable. Although they do prefer the term little people.
Right.
But idiot, imbecile, and moron were all medical terms. Were the ranking of the intelligence scale, and then of course they get hijacked by society and get used as a pejorative term, and then eventually they get banned, and then they have to come out with new terms, and it's just a cycle.
Oh yeah.
So yes, it won't take long.
Yeah. What are the other? There was a bunch of other words. You can say suicide again now, I guess.
I think so. Yeah. Instead of that is unalive.
Yeah,
unalive is the term that's been being used, and I don't understand how does that soften anything.
I don't know.
First of all, it sounds ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with using the word if that's indeed the case. So that's what it calls for.
I forget what the other words are. It's just so ridiculous. And all this while there's more evidence that 9/11 is just complete bullshit. Did you have you ever heard now this could be real or not real, but I've heard accounts of a radio call shortly before the first tower fell, where a fire chief got up to where the plane hit and basically radioed down, "Yeah, I'm up here. Yeah, we just got a few small fires to knock out. Everything should be fine." And then literally like 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, the whole thing came down. All right. So I don't think there's any way they could have faked the planes hitting the towers. That happened. That's, I think, undeniable.
Yeah, I don't, yeah.
Now, the question is...
I've not heard anybody claiming that.
Oh, I have.
Okay.
I know, that's pretty crazy, but I have. They're saying it never happened there. Nobody ever actually saw it. Yeah, but that's undeniable. The part that is questionable is how the towers fell, and more even questionable than that is Building 7. Nobody can really explain what the and here's the problem. All right, so the official story, as far as I know, unless I'm getting this wrong, is that Building 7 took a bunch of damage, which I'm sure is probably true. An engine or something. I don't know, whatever. Let's assume that's true. They have footage of it on fire, so it took some kind of damage from something somehow. So we have to blow it up and demolish it, or else it's just going to fall on its own. Okay, that's the official story. My question is, how did they blow it up that day?
Well, yeah, all that stuff has to be done in, if you're going to control demolition of a building requires
that's the whole
installation of all of the
exactly. That's the whole thing that makes me go, wait a minute, because they literally blew it up that day, right?
Well, yes,
or the day after, within a couple of days or something. So you can't wire that thing up with explosives that quick.
No.
So that's really
I've never even heard that was the official explanation. That it was a controlled demolition.
Well, I'm going on stuff I've seen on the internet. I'm not an expert. I've never been but from what all the official things that they're saying, and it just doesn't make sense. How did that? And there's footage now that they're showing that. This is why I even brought it up the other day. That there's always showing footage of the towers coming down. Like, look, it can't come down like that. Well, Building 7 came down exactly like that. I mean, it came down straight down, nothing, straight down, like you would see on a completely controlled demolition.
Yeah.
There's like almost no way that could possibly have happened if I don't know. The whole thing just seems.
No, from the moment I saw the very first time I saw the footage of the third tower going down, I assumed immediately upon seeing it that it was
third tower.
Well, the 7.
Yeah. Okay.
The one we're talking about. It looks exactly like controlled demolition, and I assume that that's what it was. But that does mean that it had to have been set up in advance.
And here's the other thing. I
also just assumed that was true.
Here's the other thing. There just coincidentally happens to be one building that kind of looks like it was blown up and one plane that didn't hit its target. The one that, went down in the field.
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder where that was going. Maybe it could have been going to Building 7.
Yeah. It was planned to hit it, but it didn't.
Yeah. So the whole thing just, look, what is real? I mean, literally, are we in a simulation? I mean,
Can you just say Israel?
Speaking of which,
segue.
Nuremberg 2.0. What do you think's going to happen with that?
Well, that's going to be the new N-word.
Yeah. No shit. Nuremberg 2.0, man. I keep telling people about this. I'm like, look, you guys forget. I mean, don't forget history. When this shit's all said and done in Israel and Gaza and all that stuff, history's not going to look kindly on these people. Not at all, man. And it's funny. I was telling you about the Saddam thing, right?
No. Well, you were, but I don't.
Yeah. Which was, which is another thing that's kind of funny. Is like people look at that Saddam purge video where they're just marching people out back and shooting them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how barbaric. We did the same thing at Nuremberg. I mean, maybe they deserved it. I mean, we took people and maybe not right out back right after the trial,
Did
but
they hang them? Were they hanged?
Yeah. They hung a bunch of people. Yeah. So, it's like, yeah, you guys might want to, I don't know if that's why literally I've been I've been stating which side I've been on Facebook for a long time. Like, yeah, I am not on the side of the Zionists. This is not going to turn out well for them. It just can't. Everybody on the planet is turning against them right now. Literally, they have two friends, England and America. That's it. Everybody else is like, fuck those Zionists, fucking idiots.
I truly can't find myself to be on either side. I mean, both sides are committing atrocities. Varying differences of scale. Yeah. I will say there is a big difference in scale.
Yeah, well, that's true. If you consider scale, the Zionists are much worse at the moment, But yeah, you're right. And, like I keep telling people that want to debate me about exactly that point, I'm like, look, I'm not going to pretend to care about any of those people. I don't give a shit about any of them. I don't know any of them. I can't care about any more about them than the people in Ukraine or the people starving in Africa. I don't care about them. Just stop using our money to kill them. That's all I'm saying. Stop. We don't have it. We're using money we don't have. We're printing it out of thin air so we can give it to you to kill people. It's just, and sooner or later that, talk about, the reckoning on that's coming pretty soon, man. I mean, people don't understand. Do you know who we owe the debt to?
No.
All right. Here's how it works. The debt is all U.S. Treasury bonds. That's what the debt is. So if you buy a U.S. Treasury bond for like a 10-year bond and you give them X much and you're supposed to get interest, that's who they owe the money to. Like if we say we're not paying, that's who's getting screwed. And guess who does that? Governments. You know who the largest holder of U.S. bonds is?
China?
Japan.
Oh.
Actually, they've actually been dumping them lately. And see, that's the problem. The closer we get into collapsing, the more these guys are going to start dumping these things, which makes them less and less valuable, which also makes it what's funny, because as they become less and less valuable, they become riskier, which means, all right, well, you used to be able to buy a U.S. bond and make, like 3% interest. Well, guess what? Now you're going to get 10% interest or 20% interest or 30% interest. And guess where they're going to get that money from? Crank up the printer. And it's just, it's a revolving cycle of just stupidity. We're going to be paying $10,000 for a gallon of milk soon. It's just ridiculous. It's, and all so that we can give it to Zionists that want to take over, and here's the thing, at least I'll give them credit. They've stopped pretending. They've stopped saying, oh, yeah, no, we're just doing this in self-defense. They're like, fuck it. We just want it all. We're just taking it all. Right. Even Trump said it yonder about, yeah, they're just taking. Even Trump is saying, like, look, we know you're taking it. Just hurry up. Just finish it off without, stop killing people. Get it done. Whatever you got to do. And that's, it's just so ridiculous. The whole thing is, anyway, rant over. Your turn.
No, I'm going back to the beginning of the show and taking a couple of seconds of silence here to take that in. And after discussing such a horrific and serious topic.
It's funny you say that. You know who doesn't take a moment of silence? Tim Dillon.
No, that guy is,
he's full go.
He basically does a full, 2-3 hour show where he's just a complete rant from start to finish.
Yes. Yeah. It's the thing.
Unless he's got script running on the back of those shiny ass sunglasses, which I don't see how anybody could focus on something that. Well,
he wears the same. He wears different glasses every time too. That'd be kind of
kidding, of course.
Yeah. That's hilarious. But yeah.
He does have an ability to just keep going.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've seen you get on some pretty good rants that have made me laugh pretty hard. So you really gotta work on some rant routines.
It requires me to be
I know it's
angry.
You gotta think of something that makes you you gotta get the right category or the right
angry or ripped off in some fashion. That usually gets me going.
Yeah, what was it you were just pissed? Yeah, was something you were just complaining about like yesterday that you were ranting about. Yeah, we got to think of, you got to start jotting down, like, this really pisses me off, so you can come in here and rant about it.
Grinds my gears, and Peter Griffin.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. We could call that the Grind My Gears segment.
We should also, I think, incorporate something along the lines of the news nuggets.
Well, I think that's basically what the whole show is at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, written and really hunt out for some really ridiculous, obscure ones. Because,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, his were always about, first of all, they almost always involved some Asian guy who had the name
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or something like that in his name. and it would be some outrageous something you would have found like in the National Enquirer
or on Onion or
something. We're now on the Onion, but
yeah. That's a good
but
idea.
Claiming to be true,
that's
as
true.
opposed to the
I'll
Onion.
have to remember that. News
satire.
nuggets. Yeah, we got to start doing that for sure. And like I said a couple episodes ago, there's a buddy of mine that I called, and hopefully he's going to get involved. But I'm going to tell him to like his problem is he works during the day, so I'm going to tell him to like. I want him to almost like prepare some skits. Like, and just like, even if he has to like record them on his phone and send them to us and we'll just watch them or whatever.
Right. Or call the hotline.
Right. We'll do that. Yes. Skits on the hotline. Right. Yes. We had our lovely dildo betting scheme already.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to have to.
We need people to comment on that and let us know if anybody actually made any money doing that.
Yeah, that's true. If anybody implemented that actual plan.
Right. And if so, let us know what game you
did. And the thing about
for some footage.
How do you get away with throwing a dildo at an event like that? I mean, people are sitting right around you. I mean, somebody's going to see you do it.
I mean, as long as you're, nobody's sitting right behind you, it's a staggered, seating. Everybody's looking forward.
Oh, so you're saying they're throwing it from the very last nosebleed?
Yeah,
seat or something.
Well, let's be honest.
Well,
it's not like the seats are full.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? The very last seat is probably not
I was
that
thinking
far
maybe
away
standing near an exit or something, and then you chuck it and then just haul ass.
That maybe too.
Yeah, I don't know how you get away with that.
Maybe they sneak in ahead of time and stash the dildo underneath this. You know what I mean? Like in the old.
Well, that's not a problem.
Like in old mafia movies where they hide a gun in the toilet, and then the guy's like, "Yeah, I got to go use the John." He comes out of the bathroom, guns blazing.
Yeah. You could have your Godfather moment, but yeah, no. My issue is the fact that when you actually throw it, somebody's got to see you throwing the damn thing.
Well, I'm sure in the beginning it was much easier, but now with the controversy, they probably got more security and cameras, cutting even more into the profits that the league doesn't actually make.
Speaking of which, I think this would actually be included in what you would call a news nugget. But I saw a story on Facebook about some guy in, I want to say Ohio, or somewhere in that, somewhere where
Midwest.
Where you would never encounter an octopus, and he threw one out on a high school or amateur hockey rink, and apparently the thing was just like old and stinky and disgusting.
Nice.
Like people were like.
I saw a news nugget worthy article recently that some scientist was so proud that they had finally bred or engineered an octopus that was, and back to words that we're now allowed to use, retarded, meaning you could ethically feel good about eating it. Is one of the big problems people have about eating octopus, those that are against it, is because they're supposedly so intelligent. These creatures,
so fucking wrong.
So they,
so
on that
many
level,
levels.
that means if an animal is dumb enough, regardless of what it is, you're allowed to eat it. So you can see where we're going with this.
Yes, Soylent Green is retarded people.
It's just retarded people. So my sister has this odd fascination with octopuses, and she just telling me the other day how much she wanted to get one and how much it would cost to set up.
They are smart as fuck,
and
and delicious.
Yeah, exactly. And so I told her, I was like, I'll help you get it only on the condition that once it perishes, I'm allowed to eat it. She was horrified. No, you can't eat the octopus. I'm not
sure you want to eat anything that died of old age.
I was going to help it along. I wasn't going to mention it to her, right? We get the tank set up first, and then we'll see how many octopuses we can get in there. And yes, it is octopuses. It's not octopi.
Really?
Yes, that is correct.
How do you know that?
Well, I've heard it debated on by a couple of YouTube channels that were talking about the difference in Latin endings, and also because octopus is a noun, and when you use the us to the I, it's only for verbs, I believe.
But have you ever been to the octopus's garden?
No, I have not been there. Nor have I been to Rome.
Oh God, octopus, octopi. I like octopi better. I'm sticking with that.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't care what the correct one is. I like octopi better. I've never seen more than one octopus at a time. Do they actually?
Well, I mean, they
have to mate. Obviously,
at that point, there's got to be two. Or
well,
maybe
do they have to? Wait a minute. How
Yes,
do you determine the sex of an octopus?
Carefully. But I do know, I mean, when they mate, like the male extends one of its tentacles that has, and it like delivers the sperm packet to the female. So it's not like they're, getting it on, getting freaky, but I was going to say, it's more intimate than some marine creatures that just, the female leaves the eggs, and then the guy comes over and basically jizzes on the pile of eggs, and the two fish never even come into contact with each other. So that's not a very satisfying.
Actually, I've heard some scientists are now saying that after studying octopus DNA, They don't think they're from this planet. They think they're from some other planet.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, the theory being that the DNA somehow got carried on a meteor or something.
Okay, panspermia is the theory. That's what life being spread via that way.
That's the word. So they're saying that, like, yeah, no, this probably originated on a different planet and then somehow got brought here.
Honestly, the biggest drawback to octopi or octopuses, as you have it, is the short lifespans. I mean, they'd be able to accomplish a lot more. Evolution would have
same thing with dolphins and stuff.
They just don't live long enough.
How long do killer whales live?
I want to say in the wild, I think they lived 30 years.
Oh wow, that's not that long at all.
I mean, maybe 40. I don't know. But I mean, octopus live, a year, 18 months. Like they don't live very long at all.
Oh shit,
very short lives.
That short.
They don't live long enough, in spite of their intelligence. They don't live long enough to pass on any culture, or anything like that. So, unlikely that they would get too far. But they are pretty clever.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess they.
I think they have like a decentralized nervous system. So, like they have.
I think so.
Not everything is controlled by just one brain.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they have like a little brain that controls each limb.
Yeah.
Like a central brain, and then like a little brain that junction brain or something.
They are alien in the sense that their nervous system is very different from those of virtually everything else.
That's true. Although, I mean, I guess a starfish couldn't be in any kind of relative to a.
No, it's too bad those aren't delicious because those things are certainly retarded. You should be allowed to eat them.
Well, and people don't realize they are.
They probably eat them in Japan.
Living.
I mean,
what's that?
They probably eat them in Japan.
I don't think starfish are any good. They ate the urchins, which
right, the uni. Yeah, and I think the only part of the sea urchin you eat is the gonads, like the orange.
Yeah, you don't eat most of it. Those. That's one of those things that, like, who was the first guy to decide something in there was going to be good to eat?
Yeah,
because those things are like, if you ever been hit, you ever gotten hit by an urchin and get the fucking.
I have had uni though. But I've never,
Dude, when you're diving, if you get some of that, it's like a fucking pin that goes in your skin. It breaks off. You cannot get it out. I mean, unless you literally dig it out with a knife or something like that. It's just, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's painful. It takes forever for it to fucking come out. Oh, I think I got one of those once down in the Keys or something. I was going for a lobster and like ran into one with my arm or something. It's like, oh my, it was very, very. Very painful.
I'm not a fan of uni. I've tried it. I don't care.
I don't think I've ever tried it.
Sushi places usually have it.
What's the consistency of it?
Like foie gras.
Oh, okay. I would have never.
Very soft, and smooth.
How do they serve it?
Just in the shell.
Oh.
And you just get a little spoon and you can just kind of scrape it out. That's the only way I've ever seen it served.
No rice or bread, or you just eat it straight, huh?
No, that's. I mean, I've only ever seen it on offer at sushi places, and
but
I've never seen it incorporated into a roll or anything. But I'm sure somebody has.
You got to give it up to the Japanese for just the sheer innovation of what you can frickin' eat. I guess they only could, only had so much.
Right. Well, yeah, it's an island. You basically, if it's in the ocean, somebody's at least going to try it, and if they live, somebody else is going to figure out how to make it taste good.
Well, it's also funny too that they, even though they eat a lot of seafood there, they also have the best steak on the planet.
If you like it. Again, I'm not a fan.
Really?
Yeah, the extremely marbled, that it's greasy to me. Like. And I honestly think that this might just have a cultural difference to do, right? Because, for example, if you've had tuna, I know sushi grade tuna, there's ahi tuna, and there's bluefin tuna, and then like the highest of the high, like toro, I think it's called toro fin, and it's the belly of the bluefin, and it's the fattiest cut you can get. It's the fattiest one, and that just seems to be that flavor, that texture, whatever it is highly prized and craved in Japan. Whereas to me, it's too much.
It doesn't translate.
Yeah, to me, I would prefer the steak to be a little leaner. I like the taste of the muscle fibers more so than the fat. Yes, fat is flavor, but you take it too far. It's almost like this steak is essentially bacon. You know what I mean? But then if you don't render all that fat out, so I don't know. I don't think
you've seen what they do to those cows, right?
They give them beer. They give them massages.
They spit the beer on them.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah. The chick that massages the cow
drinks
the beer, spits it on the cow, and rubs the cow.
Well, rubs the cow with the beer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they just let them drink beer while they give them.
They probably do that too. I don't know about that, but yeah, no, I've seen it done. There's a little Japanese lady and next to this giant cow, and she's swigging beer, and then rubs it.
Might as well be spoiled if considering what your end fate is going to be. Yeah, why not?
Good point. Good point. And I don't think they let them. They don't let them move around too much.
Right.
Like you keep them rather.
The Aztecs did a weird ritual where one of their gods, they would choose an avatar for this god once a year, and this person would then, for the rest of the year, be treated as if he were the living embodiment of that god. He'd walk around the city. This is in the capital, Tenochtitlan.
Yeah.
He'd walk around the city. People would he'd get free gifts, free food, free drink. I'm sure he had a rather lovely social life. And then at the end of the year, he'd be killed, sacrificed. Then a new person would be chosen. But for that 1 year, really living the high life.
Kind of like a weird version of Logan's Run.
Yeah.
Interesting.
An entire, not forced,
and do you think,
not forced to do so.
Well, I was going to say, do you think these people aspired to
Oh, absolutely. It was considered, it was a noble, and it was like civic duty almost. It was an entirely different way.
1 year of
looking
perks,
at it. Yeah, and you get to die as the god, and so then you supposedly, according to their religious beliefs, then you go on to live as an avatar of that god in the afterlife. So you're not only do you get a once really sweet year on Earth, but then your afterlife is secured. You don't have to worry about it, what it's going to be like.
Speaking of afterlife, if there's one thing I could ask dead people, it'd be the people of Heaven's Gate, and like, how the hell are you going to hitch a ride on a comet? How does that work?
Right? Does it slow down for you? Do you speed up? Is it like merging onto the highway?
How do you even get out into space? Do you just propel your souls out there? How does that exactly
yank you right out of your Nikes? It's going so fast. Like, how does that work? Oh no, it was Reeboks, wasn't it? I can't remember now.
I think it was Nikes.
Might have been.
It was Nikes. Yeah, but look, we're all going to eventually die. So I guess at some point, if you got to pick a way, what the hell?
Most of the sacrifices the Aztecs would do would be prisoners of war.
True.
And in fact, they would have wars. They called them the flower wars. The whole point was just to raid and capture people alive. They had specialized weapons they used for this that were, nothing edged. They're not trying to kill anybody. They don't want to cut you. They just want to knock you on the back of the head.
Is that where the bolo came from, or whatever it was called?
No, I think that comes from like South America. Oh, like Argentina or something like that. Maybe even in Malaysia and Indonesia. I'm not sure.
Well, they're saying
it's probably independently invented in different places.
Well, I was going to say, because a lot of people are claiming the Aztecs got around a lot more than we thought. Like the Aztecs, they're saying made it to Georgia. They're saying they found a site that they believe could have been Aztec. So they might have gotten around. Yeah, we maybe there's definitely some changes coming to the show, but even more than we thought. Turns out we could be changing a lot of things on the show very soon. This could be. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see very soon what's going to happen.
It's always a work in progress.
Yes, our future is very, very up in the air, very uncertain. What's going to happen?
I'm not
much like the real estate. And
they made it to Georgia. It doesn't surprise me at all. As organized and funded as they were, and
yeah, no, they're saying they were saying somebody's now saying, who the Olmec are, right?
Yes.
They're like the very first, as far as they can tell, civilization down there at all.
Currently believed to be.
Right, right. And a lot of people, they were saying that they're doing DNA testing on them that show that they think some of them came from like Australia, New Zealand.
Australasian DNA. Yes. I've seen.
And then this. I guess some others, maybe came over from Africa.
Well, as the dates keep getting pushed back further and further every time a new discovery is made, it's becoming more, I believe, accepted by archaeologists that humans were seafaring much earlier than previously believed.
Well, not only that, I think the whole timeline's getting pushed back. Like originally it was like 6,000 years ago we were in caves.
Well, that's
I think that's
biblical timelines. But I just recently heard that they've discovered human remains from I think it was 300,000 years ago, which is that pushes it back 100. Previously, it was around 200,000.
Right, which they didn't even think they were humans back then. They thought we were like Neanderthals or whatever,
Homo habilis or Homo erectus or one of the
they're definitely having a. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, if you're a scientist, That's why they call it the theory of evolution, you know?
Especially prehistory and
Yeah,
archaeology and things
exactly.
like that is a constant state of learning new information.
Yeah.
There's no, you can never claim to
Know
definitively
everything.
know the answer to that because there's
Absolutely.
always going to be something else to find. There's
Absolutely.
always somewhere else to look.
You know,
We
and
can only
often
say what we know so far.
right.
Our best guess currently.
Right. Right. See, and like for instance, like carbon dating. All right. So the whole basis of carbon dating is there's a radioactive isotope that decays at a variable or a constant rate, so that you can date if you know or some organic material. This is when it started. It's decayed this much, this many years. Well, let's say for some reason that we don't understand, back in the past, it decayed at a different rate.
Right. Well, one of the biggest problems with using is that the laws of physics are in fact exactly the same everywhere in the universe throughout all time in a constant.
Right.
And there's no way to know that either.
Well, that's proven impossible many times by a thing called the black hole.
Yeah.
You can't say that. It's not constant. It's not, everything changes and it's in a constant state of change. I don't know, the whole concept that these scientists ever claim they know something certain as a fact. Well, then you should be able to do an experiment and prove it, or else you're not telling me a fact.
Right. And the history of science is as it evolves and moves forward is people being proven wrong.
Yeah.
Sure. Science evolves one funeral at a time.
Right. Well, what's funny too is, I guess at this point we would say, well, leeches are wrong, but were they really?
Well, maybe they still have some medical value, but
exactly.
they were used incorrectly at the time.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's what they had, and it worked, so they used it. I mean, sure, that's not what would work for us these days. There are a lot better ways.
All the time, and sometimes it made things worse. But the same could be said of modern medicine. It doesn't work all the time, and sometimes it makes things worse. The number of people that die every year through medical malpractice is not a negligible number. No, it's a sizable number. Yeah. And I've had questions, as we discussed on our medical horror story show, we've all had questionable things said to us or proposed to do, procedures. And if you're not paying attention and you're not an advocate for your own health and you're, don't to make any attempt to inform yourself, and I can see yourself getting talked into some pretty dangerous shit.
Oh, yeah. I've already told the story about my dental procedure and having to get the clearance.
Yes.
I already told that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think just to update that story. Because I think in the story, they'd only called me a couple of times on the phone saying, we can't treat you because you have nothing wrong with it,
right,
or whatever. They finally sent me a letter that basically says the same thing. Like, sorry, we can't see you unless there's something wrong with you. We can't just. So
you can't just come in for a diagnosis.
Yeah, no. And here's the thing. I shouldn't even have to go
Not
there.
Even a diagnosis, a clearance.
Yeah, a clearance.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't even have to go there. I mean, what is me going there going to tell them? Anyway, they should be able, And here's the other thing. Didn't Obama pass some law back when he was president about making it much easier for medical people to exchange your information?
I don't remember that.
I believe he did. But then not long after that came the I guess HIPAA.
Yeah, for privacy. Here's the part that as much as every single piece of data about us is collected by every single company that we purchase anything from, and then shared and sold, and yet these two doctors can't share information with each other, even though you're endorsing it to be done.
Exactly my point. I shouldn't have to do anything. They should be able to go look up stuff. Okay, this was done. Procedure was done then. This is what they did. Okay, there's no danger. You're cleared. Blah, blah, blah. Done.
At worst, it should be with one office calling another office and two,
Meanwhile,
employees
4 months in, it's like, are you shitting me? I'm just trying to get it clear. And it's funny. They finally, I guess my primary is finally going to just give them the clearance without an oncologist. So they're like, oh, okay. So we'll make it an appointment for you to come in and get your clearance. And I'm like, I don't even need it till next March. I'll just get it next time I come to see you or something. I'm not making a special trip just to get the stupid clearance. It's crazy, man. Yeah, our whole health system, man. Like I said, I can't wait for AI to come clean it up, get rid of all the waste and bureaucracy. But then that's what will that do? Well, clearly the insurance industry runs our healthcare.
Yes.
So if AI comes in and gets rid of 80% of the insurance industry's employees and staff, what's that going to look like?
Well, it'll be one of the other many, many things that have been proposed to us to accept it because they'll pass the savings on to us, but they won't because that thing will change and it'll just be more money for the shareholders and the stockholders.
Well, I mean, at this point, I don't pay anything for healthcare. It's Obamacare, so it's basically been socialized for most Americans, I would say,
right?
Unless you're really rich and you can afford, I don't know.
In which case, you're sometimes flying to other countries to have the procedures done anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I remember the old myth about the Rolling Stones that would go to these retreats. And I wasn't say it was in Sweden or something like that. And the urban myth back at the time was that they were getting complete blood transfusion. Every drop of spoiled.
Well, let's think about that.
Drugged up alcohol blood was taken out of their body and then supplied with nice, fresh, new fluids.
Well, here's the thing. You could realistically do that through with your own blood and just put it through what's the thing they do with your kidney?
Dialysis machine.
Yeah, just put it through a dialysis machine. That's going to clear everything out of your blood. So you could do it with your own blood.
But then you're not getting the adrenochrome and the juice from the kids or whatever it is. They're just squeezing out of their little pineal glands or whatever. Taking a kid's pineal gland and putting it in a garlic press or whatever and just right into his mouth, just get that last drop. That's probably what they were doing.
Yeah, that'd be more interesting for sure. That'd be a better script for the how are those guys still alive, man? How old is Mick Jagger now?
I don't know.
He's got to be pushing 90. Is he in his 90s?
I don't know. We could do an experiment though. We could find out if young Ethan can still communicate from beyond the veil. How old is Mick Jagger?
See, I mean, Keith Richards, he's about the same age, right?
Yeah, I think so. And
are they still touring?
Did the old so the drummer was the old one, right? Was it
Charlie Watts?
Charlie Watts. He's dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because he would have to be like a mummy or something to be alive at this point.
He'd have to be in Spinal Tap. No,
right? No, because then he would have exploded.
Yeah, right. But I saw a thing not too long ago that was saying that no business decision ever for the Rolling Stones was made without Charlie's approval. Apparently, he was the top dog. Right.
Well, they probably thought of him as like dad.
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah.
Apparently, if he said no, they weren't doing it.
Well, you can't leave it up to Keith Richards.
Oh hell no!
First, you got to wake him up.
Oh God!
Then stand him up.
Was Keith Richards involved in that thing with Chuck Berry and John Lennon and Yoko Ono?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That
wasn't
footage
he
of them singing. I don't think so.
I don't know why.
I mean, this footage where as soon as Yoko starts to sing, the look on Chuck Berry and then John Lennon looks like he wants to crawl inside of a hole and die. Yeah, I don't think Keith Richards was there for that.
That's one
because I think he would have done something.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Like this has gone on long enough. I can't do the accent, and I'm not going to try. But I feel like he would have stepped in and done something.
That's one of the great moments of television, man. Is the Chuck Berry's face.
Thank God it was caught on film, right? Yeah, the look on his face is like, control your woman. I don't know what was going through, the exact wording or that he was thinking, but
you
could feel the vibe changed real fast.
Oh yeah.
And this was one of Lennon's idols.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And
finally, I mean, how much could John Lennon really have an idol? I mean, he kind of thought of pretty highly of himself.
Yeah, but at one time he did when he was younger,
Yeah, but at that point he's already like, oh, we're more famous than Jesus. So
right, fair enough.
Fuck this guy. He used to be my idol. Now he's going to see how it's really done. Go ahead, Yoko.
It still had to mean something. Yeah, exactly. That's just horrifying.
Oh,
cats
God.
Being tortured. It was just horrific sound.
It is. How did that?
A screeching, wailing banshee, like something right out of an Irish bog.
And you know what paved the way for that stupidity? A painting of a Campbell's soup.
Yeah.
That was it when they're like, all right, we don't care what you call art now anymore. Just make it whatever you want to say it is. And
that was before or after Jackson Pollock?
I don't know. What did Jackson Pollock do?
That's like all the splotchy, splashy kind of art, abstract.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm not that familiar with Jackson Pollock. I thought he was a writer. That's how much I know about him.
No, an artist.
No shit. No, I would. I think that he sounds like he was from before. Because I mean, what's his name? Who's the guy that did the Campbell soup?
Warhol.
Warhol he was 60s. He was 60s and 70s, all LSD'd out. They're all dropping acid, doing Studio 54 stuff.
Yep.
Dude, that's when if I had a time machine, that would be a stop.
Yeah, that'd be a
definitely
fun place
going to
check
fucking
out.
Studio 54 sometime in the 70s, hanging out with Hugh Hefner and Michael Jackson and fucking Rick James. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yes, it was, especially in there.
Dude, back then, I bet you the cocaine was amazing. Before they fucking started fucking it up, I bet you it was insanely good.
Probably.
Oh, God.
Just missed it.
Good dope days. Whatever happened to that band? Remember that song? Who did that song? The Good Dope Days. What was the name of that band?
I don't even think I know the song.
They only had a couple of hits. They did one big hit for one of the, like the Joker movie or something. Or no, it was, they did one song for a movie that kind of, because they had a couple of hits. What is it?
To Make Ends Meet.
No, that's not it. It's two guys. If you said the name of it, I would know it, but that's not it. The Good Dope Days is one of their songs. We used to play one of their songs in fucking hashtag. Riding or something like that.
I might recognize it if I heard it, but
yeah, you probably would, because they had a couple of hits that were pretty good. It's just two guys. Anyway, Good Dope Days. That's a good song too, though. Yeah, I miss the Good Dope Days. Yeah, before pharma fucked it all up. Yeah, basically, you gotta admit, when government sees a good way to make money, they're going to eventually take it over.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm still shocked that we haven't reached the point yet where the federal government has decided to legalize marijuana and start taxing it.
Oh, and here's the thing. I mean, everybody's
after watching Canada do it, I really thought they.
What do you think about this bullshit of just changing it from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3?
Like, I think it's it's a great step in the right direction.
Yeah, but it's like,
millions,
half measures.
It is a half measure. I'm not going to lie about that, but millions of registered cannabis patients that want to go out and buy a new gun are going to be real happy when that happens.
I want to say something with guns is the name of that band. 21 Guns or something.
21 Pilots.
Ah, that's it. Yeah.
And I have heard the name of them.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was their song though.
What was it? They had a big hit with what was the movie? It was some kind of cartoon movie. I want to say it was a Batman movie, but I'm not sure. We used to play it. It was a good song.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that was the movie. Yeah. Yep. I forget.
I'm sorry. Unalive Team. Don't want to get ourselves in any trouble there. Yeah, how do they even make that movie if they're not allowed to use it?
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty old movie. It's about like
it's not that old. Yeah.
Like 10 years ago, wasn't it? 5 years ago?
Yeah, but they were they were.
Isn't it funny at our age to just go, that wasn't that long ago? It was like 5-10 years ago.
It's getting worse and worse.
I know.
I just realized the other day that the Rocky Horror Picture Show was 50 years old, and that one hit me in the feels. Yeah. I'm like, wow, that has been. I mean, not that I watched it, when it was.
And not only that,
I had lax parents, but they weren't lax enough to take a 4-year-old to see Rocky Horror. But
and if that didn't make you feel old enough, young Ethan's like, what's that?
Yeah, no, he has to this moment right now. He still has no idea what I'm talking about. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's not, but I guess it is.
Rocky Horror. That was such an iconic thing of the 80s.
Here's the thing, too. If you try to explain to a young person nowadays what it was and to go see it, if it's not being shown live and the people aren't doing what we know they're supposed to do, you're not really seeing the movie. Like I can't say, hey, go catch it on Netflix.
Right.
It's not you can watch the whole thing, but you still haven't really watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Not unless you've had toast thrown at you.
It was on Broadway for a while, wasn't it? As like people would watch it and then like do the things as they watch the show.
I think so, but Yeah, I mean, I just miss actually it being on the screen and then just local randoms doing their thing.
Yeah.
Nobody's being paid to do
Yeah.
this, and it kept evolving as
Oh yeah.
just good times. Those sort of shared experiences is something that our civilization is just they're getting less and less and less. I mean, yes, to a certain extent, you still have major sporting events and stuff, but your average American is so priced out of things like that that they're not. Most people don't attend NFL games and NBA games. It's just not the same.
Not to mention that. I mean, every time I see footage from a sporting game, this guy's getting into a fight.
Or chucking dildos, which is really the only reason to watch at this point is to see who's going to take one of those to the eye. Or better yet, the mouth. Who knows? You could be yawning or breathing real hard when that thing comes sailing in at the right angle. And the next thing you know, right in the back of the throat.
the last footage I saw of somebody chucking one of those on this chick, it hit the ground, and one chick is like, ugh. This other chick runs up and kicks it off the.
Right. I thought you were going to say she dives on it like a grenade.
That would have been funny too. But what I was thinking would have been funnier if she went to kick it and slipped on it and fell or something.
Or better yet, she dives on it like a grenade and then she hops up and it's gone, like a magic trick.
Like the Joker in the pencil trick.
Exactly. Ta-da! And then she kind of limps off the court a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we've actually, Becca almost came today because
she would have loved this part of the show.
Because I was going to throw it to her, our senior dildo correspondent.
Literally throw it to her across this table on camera.
And she was ready. She was like, yeah, I would love that. I got to get in there. Yeah. I hope it's still a thing by the time she gets back on the show.
Honestly, they should just let it keep going. It's got to be increasing attendance.
You know, they're doing it at football games.
Way more people are going to go to a WNBA game if they think there's a chance they're going to see a
You saw they're doing it at NFL games now too, right?
No.
Oh yeah, at Minnesota with the gay.
That's dangerous.
With the gay cheerleader.
One of those guys, one of those linemen, would come back up in the bleachers and beat you to death with the dildo. Like, what was the movie, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? The antagonist is a guy who runs a porn shop or something, and there's simulated footage of him beating somebody to death with a giant black dildo. What a horrible way to go.
Oh,
you're definitely not getting into afterlife or not. You're not getting into heaven after that.
I got to say that one male cheerleader with the long hair, if he stays with his back turned to you, it's kind of like, hey,
right?
Hey, I don't know. That looks like a pretty hot cheerleader until he turns around.
Drive through the Rainbow Square with that guy sitting next to you in the car, and things are going to get hot.
That's right. Last night, as we were going to meet young Ethan at Dada, we had to brave our way through a rainbow crosswalk or two.
Apparently, they're going in the process of dismantling or something.
Right.
Under the guise of
it was tough,
distracting to traffic.
We made it. We locked eyes for a little while, but we managed to make it without.
Yep. I kept at least one hand on the wheel. That's all I can say.
True. Oh God, yeah. Things we have to worry about nowadays. It's a rough world. Rough world. You might get hit with a dildo, turn gay by a crosswalk.
Right.
Now, you think it's the crosswalks that turn the frogs gay?
No, I think that's something in the water. I'm pretty sure.
The fluoride in the water. Yeah. Well, it's the frogs that get hungry. Then you got to.
Your friend on the last episode, that was one of the best impressions. He didn't even.
I
know
he
knew he was doing it.
I know.
But he nailed it.
Yeah, Dave Connolly. Shout out to Dave Connolly. Last episode.
I mean, as good as Rogan's impression, I would say.
Yeah, he was.
Who also nails it.
And he didn't even try. That's the funniest part. Both of us were like immediately like, that was Alex Jones.
Yeah, you just channeled him.
Oh God. Have you watched any of his podcasts lately?
No, not lately.
Oh, it's podcast gold, dude. I mean, he's such a character, and he seems to be like, well, I mean, I guess he's always been just on the edge of melting down completely, like, you know, and it's like I said,
there's a guy who lives in a state of ranting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. But he's the one that has been saying that, you know, Trump's got 6-8 months to live. He doesn't look good with, you know, his ankles are all swollen, and you know, he's not looking good. He's got the thing on the back of his hand, so you know, who knows?
That's pretty good too, though.
Yeah, I know. I can do an Alex Jones. I can do an Alex Jones. Alex Jones is pretty easy to do. It's JFK's that is the hard one. Yeah, you got the halting part of the JFK.
Right. That sounds painful to even attempt.
Yeah. That's what I think when I hear some of those guys that do some of that like hardcore thrash metal screaming and stuff. Like I expect at any point one of those guys just blood starts spraying out of their mouth. As they're
That's vicious.
You ever get into that kind of music?
No. Dude, and I like a wide variety of stuff.
I don't know. You're not that. You like stuff you can understand the lyrics. That's what you like.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I've never liked that barking, brutal death metal.
Do you remember
all it seems to come from Sweden or
do you remember Kenny's little brother back in the day when he used to like
Kenny Ray?
Yeah, what was Kenny? Whit.
Yeah.
And he was back in, and this is like early 90s, mid 90s maybe. And he was walking around with like half a shaved head and listening to stuff like that. I remember he was the guy that turned me on to like Metallica.
That guy almost did one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. I forget, it might have been Mike Dorado that dared him. The fryer had been turned off for no more than 30 minutes. You know what I mean? And Whit was seconds away from putting his hand in the fryer on a $5 bet. And if Kenny Ray hadn't come around the corner and stopped him, his hand would have been French fried completely.
Dude,
chicken fingers.
Mike Dorado he would have been in big trouble.
I know. Not only was it injury prevented,
that guy was insane.
Lawsuit and God knows what kind of a beating that would have come after it.
Why is it always those little guys that are insane?
He was a very violent, angry man.
Why is it the little guys though?
Napoleon complex, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, he was. Well, he's also Canadian, which he's one of the first guys.
French Canadian.
Yeah, he's one of the first guys that absolutely convinced me Canadians are not right. They're not regular. There's something about Canadians. It's just something wired just a little off than the rest of us.
Right. His problem is he wasn't big enough to play hockey, but he was violent enough, and so therefore he took it out on everybody around him.
I don't think you have to be that big to play hockey.
I thought it helped. I didn't think there were a lot of short guys playing hockey.
Yeah, there are a lot of short guys playing hockey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take it back.
I mean, Gretzky's only like 6 foot tall.
Yeah, Dorado was nowhere near 6 foot
that's true, but still. No, I know there's short people that play hockey. Probably make a good goalie or something. Who knows? You should write the head. All right, well, let's probably wrap it up. We now pissed off Mike Dorado and all Canadians.
Right, French Canadians. Who else did we make last night? We tried to get the British on the last show a little bit. Right. Teased them.
British and the Irish. Dude, I'm telling you, man, if you ever go to Ireland, bring a translator. I'm telling you, we're all speaking English, but I don't know what the hell they're saying. Anyway, all right, let's get out of here. Like, subscribe.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
All that stuff.
You want to do the number this time?
Why not? Call the number, leave a voicemail at 904-549-9024.
That's correct. 904-549-9024.
God, when's the last time you had to remember a phone number other than your own?
This one.
I know.
Yeah, no, I can't think of it.
All right,
Actually, no, my grandmother's, because when I go visit her, the gate code is the last 4 of her. So I did have to learn at least the last 4 of it, but that's about it.
Good thing you got a few sieves left in your,
a
few brain cells left in that sieve. All right, guys, we'll catch you next episode. Have a good one.
Thank you.